Welcome to our channel, your gateway to the most spine-chilling tales and unnerving true stories. Today, we present a story. Bury Pomeroy Castle, one of the most haunted places in UK. Once intended to be the grandest house in Devon, the ruins of Bury Pomeroy Castle sit in a picturesque wooded valley, originally given as a gift to Ralph de Pomeroy by William the Conqueror. The castle later came under the ownership of the Seymour family in the 1500s. Despite its idyllic woodland setting, the castle is considered one of the most haunted in Britain. Two female spirits are said to haunt its halls, the Blue Lady and the White Lady. The White Lady is believed to be the spirit of the beautiful Margaret Pomeroy, who fell in love with the same man as her sister, Lady Eleanor. Consumed by jealousy, Eleanor imprisoned Margaret in the castle's dungeons, and it is thought that Margaret's spirit still haunts the dungeons to this day. The Blue Lady is also believed to be a member of the Pomeroy family, dressed in a long blue cape. She attempts to lure passers-by to her aid in the castle's tower, only to push them to their deaths. Visitors to Bury Pomeroy have reported hearing a woman's cries near the tower and seeing a glowing blue light, adding to the castle's eerie reputation. Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel found themselves seated together at a small table towards the back of the crowded conference room. Excitement filled the air as paranormal enthusiasts from all walks of life gathered to share their stories and experiences. Olivia, with her piercing green eyes and a hint of sorrow etched on her face, leaned forward attentively as Ethan, his hazel eyes filled with mystery, spoke animatedly about his encounters with the supernatural. Rachel, her vibrant red hair matching her passionate spirit, listened intently, her blue eyes sparkling with curiosity. As Ethan finished recounting a particularly chilling ghostly encounter, Olivia couldn't help but be drawn to him. There was something about his quiet strength and his ability to navigate the darkness that intrigued her. She recognized a kindred spirit in him, someone who had also experienced great loss and sought solace in the unknown. Bury Pomeroy Castle, Olivia said softly, breaking the silence that followed Ethan's story. Have either of you ever been there? Ethan shook his head, a flicker of interest lighting up his features. I've heard rumors about its haunting past. The castle is said to be teeming with spirits trapped between worlds. Rachel chimed in excitedly, unable to contain her enthusiasm. It's known as one of the most haunted castles in England. The legends surrounding it are filled with tragic love stories and tales of revenge. Imagine what we could uncover there. Olivia nodded, her gaze fixed on the two strangers who suddenly felt like kindred souls. I'd been researching Bury Pomeroy Castle for years, desperate to unveil its secrets. There's something about that place that calls to me, whispers in my dreams. Ethan's eyes met Olivia's, understanding passing between them. Then let's go, he said firmly. Let's answer that call and unravel the mysteries that lie within Bury Pomeroy Castle. Rachel smiled eagerly, feeling an inexplicable bond forming among them. Together, she whispered, her voice filled with determination and excitement. With their decision made, the three strangers exchanged contact information and began planning their journey to Devonshire. Little did they know that their adventure into the heart of darkness would test their resilience, challenge their beliefs, and forever change the course of their lives. And so, as the conference buzzed around them with anticipation and stories of the supernatural, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel set forth on a path that would lead them into the chilling embrace of Bury Pomeroy Castle. The trio stood in awe at the entrance of Bury Pomeroy Castle, its grandeur and decay intertwining in a haunting symphony. The four clung to the ancient stones, lending an air of mysterious beauty to the scene. Olivia reached out a trembling hand, her fingers grazing the cold surface. A shiver ran down her spine as she sensed an unseen presence lurking within. Ethan, standing beside her, observed the castle with a mix of curiosity and caution. His hazel eyes scanned the crumbling walls, searching for signs of life or the echoes of forgotten souls. Rachel stepped forward, her vibrant red hair contrasting against the castle's grey backdrop. She raised her camera, eagerly capturing every detail, every nook and cranny that whispered tales of a bygone era. Her blue eyes sparkled with excitement, mirroring the flickering candlelight that danced through the corridors. As they ventured deeper into the labyrinthine castle, Olivia could feel the weight of history pressing against her chest. Every creak and groan of the floorboards seemed to speak of centuries-old secrets begging to be unraveled. Shadows danced on the walls, their ghostly forms flickering like phantoms from another time. Ethan's keen senses picked up on subtle shifts in the atmosphere. He noticed how certain areas seemed to hold more energy than others, as if spirits were trapped within its very fabric. Goosebumps rose on his arms as whispers brushed against his ears, barely audible but laden with emotion. Their footsteps echoed through the empty halls, each footfall carrying them deeper into a realm where reality intertwined with the supernatural. It felt as if the castle itself was alive, breathing and watching their every move. The air grew heavier, suffused with an unseen energy that crackled with anticipation. A sudden gust of wind rattled through the broken windows, extinguishing their candles in an instant. Darkness enveloped them, leaving them vulnerable to the unknown horrors that lay dormant within Berry Pomeroy Castle. Olivia's heart raced as she fumbled for her flashlight, her hands trembling with a mixture of fear and excitement. The feeble beam pierced through the darkness, casting eerie shadows along the cobweb-laden walls. She could sense it. There was something here, something waiting to be discovered. With each step they took, their resolve grew stronger. They were drawn to Berry Pomeroy Castle for a reason, connected by their shared desire to unveil its haunting secrets. The castle would test them, challenge their perceptions of reality, and take them on a journey they could never have anticipated. Unbeknownst to them, they had entered a world where ghosts freely roamed and where answers came at a price. Berry Pomeroy Castle had chosen them as its explorers, and in return, it demanded their unwavering courage and unyielding determination. As they disappeared further into the depths of darkness, the secrets of Berry Pomeroy Castle began to awaken from their slumber, whispering promises of redemption and treachery. Olivia's heart pounded in her chest as the ghostly figure materialized before them. The air grew thick with an oppressive energy, causing her skin to prickle with unease. The apparition's spectral form seemed to flicker, caught between realms as it reached out a transparent hand towards them. Ethan stepped forward, his eyes locked on the ghostly figure. His face remained stoic, but Olivia could sense the tension radiating from him. His past encounters with the supernatural had prepared him for moments like these, and he knew the importance of remaining calm. Rachel, ever the curious adventurer, couldn't tear her gaze away from the ghostly apparition. She couldn't help but wonder about its story, what tragedy had befallen this lost soul, binding it to Berry Pomeroy Castle for eternity. In the silence that enveloped them, Olivia found herself overcome with a mix of fear and fascination. This encounter was beyond anything she had ever anticipated, and she felt compelled to understand the spirit's torment. Summoning her courage, she took a tentative step forward. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice barely more than a whisper. Her words hung in the air, their echo amplifying the stillness within the castle. The ghostly figure tilted its head, its sad eyes meeting Olivia's gaze. Though devoid of color, they conveyed a depth of emotion that tugged at her heartstrings. It seemed to be searching for something, a release from its eternal anguish. Ethan placed a reassuring hand on Olivia's shoulder, grounding her in the present moment. He understood her curiosity and yearning for answers, but he also sensed danger lurking unseen within the castle's walls. "We should proceed with caution," Ethan warned, his voice low yet filled with authority. "Not all spirits are benevolent, and we must prioritize our safety." Olivia nodded, torn between her desire for understanding and the need to stay safe. She knew Ethan was right. The castle held untold secrets, some of which could be far more sinister than they could imagine. As they slowly retreated from the ghostly apparition, Rachel snapped a few photographs in hopes of capturing another glimpse into its enigmatic existence. The flash from her camera illuminated the haunted figure momentarily before fading back into darkness. With one last look at the spirit's melancholic form, Olivia made a silent promise. She would uncover the truth behind Berry Pomeroy Castle's haunting secrets, not just for herself, but for those trapped in its ethereal embrace. Together, they proceeded down the winding corridors, their footsteps echoing through the empty halls. The presence of the ghostly figure lingered behind them, whispered memory and omen of the challenges and revelations yet to come. Unbeknownst to Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel, their encounter with this sorrowful spirit marked only the beginning of their journey within Berry Pomeroy Castle. As they ventured deeper into its depths, they would discover that not all ghosts were what they seemed, and that their own pasts would intertwine with those who had met tragic fates within these haunted walls. With every step they took, uncertainty mingled with determination in their hearts. The whispers of betrayal grew louder, echoing through the castle's ancient stones as they forged ahead into uncharted territory. The stone walls of their temporary lodging seemed to close in on Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel as they gathered around a small wooden table. The flickering candlelight cast dancing shadows on their faces, amplifying the sense of foreboding that had settled upon them. Olivia's eyes held a mixture of determination and vulnerability as she recounted their encounter with the ghostly apparition. Her voice trembled slightly, betraying the emotions that swirled within her. She spoke of the sad eyes and longing that emanated from the spirit, her words filled with a deep compassion for its tormented existence. Ethan listened intently, his brows furrowed in concentration. With each word Olivia spoke, he seemed to drift deeper into thought, lost in his own recollections of past encounters with the supernatural. His hazel eyes held secrets yet untold, memories etched into their depths that mirrored the haunted corridors of Berry Pomeroy Castle itself. Rachel leaned forward, her vibrant red hair cascading over her shoulders as she eagerly absorbed every detail from Olivia's account. Excitement danced in her blue eyes, mingling with a touch of apprehension. Her thirst for knowledge burned brightly within her, driving her to uncover the enigmatic truths hidden within the castle's ancient stones. As Olivia finished recounting the tale, an electrifying silence fell over the room. Each member of the group sat with their thoughts, the weight of what they had experienced settling upon them heavy fog. It's clear that Berry Pomeroy Castle holds answers. Olivia finally broke the silence, her voice filled with conviction. Answers not just about its haunting past, but also about ourselves. I can feel it. The castle is somehow intertwined with my own tragedy. Ethan nodded solemnly, his eyes searching Olivia's face for any sign of doubt or hesitation. Finding none, he mustered a faint smile and reached across the table to place a reassuring hand on hers. We're all connected to this place in some way, he said softly. It calls to us, whispers its secrets in our dreams. We have to keep going. Unraveling the mysteries within Berry Pomeroy Castle may hold not only answers, but also redemption for all of us. Rachel leaned back in her chair, a contemplative expression on her face. I can't help but wonder what else lies hidden within those walls, she mused aloud. The castle has seen centuries of love and betrayal, joy and despair. We have an opportunity to bring those stories to light and give a voice to those who once walked these halls. A renewed sense of purpose washed over the group as they shared their hopes and fears. They were bound by a common desire, one that went beyond mere curiosity or academic pursuit. Berry Pomeroy Castle had chosen them for a reason, drawing them together to confront their own demons while unraveling the darkest secrets of its haunting history. With their hearts full of resolve and their minds brimming with questions yet unanswered, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel knew there was no turning back. The whispered echoes of betrayal and sorrow resonated through the night air outside their lodging, beckoning them into the heart of darkness, a journey that would test their limits, challenge their beliefs, and forever alter their lives. Little did they know that their quest for truth would lead them down paths fraught with danger and revelations beyond their wildest imaginings. Berry Pomeroy Castle awaited them, their destinies entwined within its ancient walls, as they embarked on a treacherous adventure that would push them to their limits and force them to confront both the darkness that surrounded them and the shadows that lurked within themselves. The trio stood in awe as they entered the grand hall of Berry Pomeroy Castle. The vast space seemed frozen in time, its faded grandeur mingling with an otherworldly aura. Moonlight filtered through stained glass windows, casting a kaleidoscope of colors on the worn tapestries that lined the walls. Olivia couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder as her gaze swept across the dimly lit hall. She marveled at the intricate details carved into the oak beams above, their once polished surfaces now marred by age and neglect. Dust particles danced in the moonbeam's path, creating an ethereal atmosphere that seemed to breathe life into the forgotten past. Ethan's eyes scanned the room, his expression a mixture of caution and quiet reverence. He took in every detail: the crackling fireplace, the threadbare carpet underfoot, knowing that each held a piece of the castle's enigmatic history. His fingers grazed the ancient stone walls, as if seeking a connection to the spirits that once roamed these halls. Rachel, ever the curious adventurer, moved forward cautiously, her eyes wide with excitement. She traced her fingers along the delicate embroidery of a tapestry depicting a medieval battle scene, imagining the lives and stories it had witnessed over the centuries. The secrets whispered within these walls called to her, urging her to uncover each hidden truth. As they continued their exploration, whispers echoed through the hall, growing louder with every step. The air grew heavy with unseen energy, causing Olivia's skin to prickle with anticipation. Shadows danced on the walls, as if animated by mischievous spirits, their forms twisting and contorting in a haunting symphony. A shiver ran down Ethan's spine as he caught snippets of hushed laughter and indecipherable murmurs floating on the air. It was as if the very fabric of Bury Pomeroy Castle reverberated with the echoes of long-lost conversations and forgotten emotions. He felt a profound connection to this place, a connection that awakened memories he had long buried within himself. Intrigued yet cautious, Olivia stepped closer to an ornate chandelier hanging from the ceiling, its crystals sparkling in the moonlight. She reached out a hand as if drawn to its ethereal beauty, only to retract it instinctively, fearing what unknown forces might lurk within its delicate embrace. The hall seemed to come alive around them, an orchestra of whispers and creaking floorboards playing an eerie melody that sent chills down their spines. For a moment, time stood still as they embraced both the majesty and the darkness of Bury Pomeroy Castle, their shared curiosity mingling with trepidation. Their exploration of the Grand Hall had just begun. It was merely a taste of the mysteries yet to be unraveled within these haunted walls. With each step they took, their bond grew stronger, each member bringing their unique strengths and vulnerabilities to this journey of redemption and revelation. They were no longer mere strangers brought together by fate. They were united in their quest to unveil the cryptic secrets of Bury Pomeroy Castle and find solace within its labyrinthine depths. The darkness enveloped Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel as their lanterns flickered out, leaving them shrouded in an oppressive silence. Shadows danced on the walls, elongated figures twisting and contorting in a grotesque ballet of terror. Ethan's heart raced within his chest as he strained to listen through the suffocating stillness. The once familiar whispers had transformed into sinister taunts that played tricks on his mind. He could almost hear the malevolent laughter seeping from the cracks in the ancient stone. Olivia's breath came in shallow gasps as she reached out with trembling hands, searching for Ethan's reassuring touch. Her senses heightened, every nerve on edge as the malevolent presence grew stronger around them. Visions of vengeful spirits tormented her mind, their distorted faces etching themselves onto her memory like scars. Rachel, ever the fearless adventurer, drew closer to Olivia and Ethan, her footsteps tentative but unwavering. Her eyes darted across the room, searching for any signs of movement or hidden encounters. A deep-rooted curiosity fueled her determination, overshadowing the fear that threatened to consume her. A whisper, barely audible yet chilling to the core, caressed their ears. It was as if the very air was alive with suppressed secrets eager to be unleashed. Goosebumps prickled on their flesh. An icy draft brushed against their skin, a subtle reminder of the unseen entities lurking just beyond their reach. In the distance, a faint glimmer of light beckoned them forward, an ethereal glow that promised answers to their haunting questions. Olivia's resolve hardened, her grief and determination merging into an unyielding force that propelled her towards that glimmer. With the darkness seemingly closing in on them from all sides, they pressed forward, their eyes straining to pierce through the veil before them. Each step was fraught with uncertainty, the floorboards creaking beneath their weight, a symphony of warning and enticement. Ethan's instincts kicked into high gear as he caught a glimpse of movement from the corner of his eye. He whipped his head in its direction, only to find empty space, a fleeting apparition teasing him with its elusiveness. His grip tightened on Olivia's hand, an unspoken reassurance passing between them. Rachel's camera dangled from her neck, an anchor of reality amidst this unsettling dreamscape. With trembling hands, she raised it to capture the essence of this haunting realm, a visual testament to what lay hidden within Barry Pomeroy Castle's walls. As they ventured deeper into the abyss, a distant moan rose from within, agonizing and filled with despair. It reverberated through their souls, a call for either salvation or vengeance. The choice was theirs to make, as they confronted not only the malevolent forces within, but also their own inner demons. In this game of shadows and whispers, they understood that survival lay not only in unraveling Barry Pomeroy Castle's cryptic secrets, but also in confronting the darkness that resided within themselves. They were caught in a dance with destiny, one that would test their resilience, challenge their beliefs, and ultimately determine whether they would emerge from this labyrinth of torment unscathed or forever consumed by its malevolence. With hearts pounding and spirits unwavering, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel journeyed deeper into the heart of Barry Pomeroy Castle, a place where reality bled into nightmares and the past whispered its haunting melodies, a treacherous expedition that promised equal measures of revelation and suffering. The library of Barry Pomeroy Castle exuded an air of faded grandeur. Dust coated the shelves, where ancient tomes stood like sentinels guarding the secrets of the past. Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel gathered around a large wooden table, their eyes filled with anticipation as they pored over the historical records strewn before them. Olivia's slender fingers traced the delicate script on a weathered parchment, her brow furrowed in deep concentration. Her determination to uncover the castle's enigmatic history was palpable, her piercing green eyes shining with an insatiable thirst for knowledge. Ethan leaned back in his chair, his thoughts drifting into the recesses of his mind as he contemplated the mysteries that lay hidden within these pages. His hazel eyes scanned the room, his intuition guiding him towards key pieces of information that would connect the past to the present. Rachel's vibrant red hair cascaded over her shoulder as she leaned forward, eagerly absorbing every word on the aged manuscripts. Her blue eyes sparkled with excitement, her mind racing to piece together clues that would unveil Barry Pomeroy Castle's darkest secrets. A heated debate erupted among them as conflicting theories clashed on the table. Olivia's voice, filled with conviction and unwavering determination, rose above the din as she presented her findings. The weight of the castle's history bore down on her as she passionately argued for connections between historical events and the supernatural occurrences within its walls. Ethan met Olivia's words with skepticism, his stoic expression revealing his analytical mind at work. He offered counter-arguments, urging caution and consideration of alternative explanations. His ability to view situations from multiple perspectives was evident as he dissected each theory with precision. Caught between their passionate exchange, Rachel leaned back in her chair, mulling over their differing opinions. Her face mirrored her internal struggle, desire for truth entangled with fear of uncovering darker truths within Barry Pomeroy Castle. As their debate raged on, a mutual respect for one another's intellect and dedication emerged, a reminder that their shared goal transcended personal biases. The trio understood that collaboration and open-mindedness were essential to unearthing the truth buried within these ancient texts. Eventually, a tentative consensus formed, a plan of action crafted from their combined insights and expertise. Their next steps in unraveling Barry Pomeroy Castle's haunting secrets took shape before them, a path filled with uncertainty yet beckoning with promises of understanding and closure. With renewed purpose and a shared understanding of their collective mission, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel prepared to embark on a journey deeper into the castle's enigmatic past. The library echoed with whispered promises of revelations yet to come as they closed their research materials and ventured forth their quest for truth, driving them ever closer to unlocking the cryptic secrets of Bury Pomeroy Castle. The trio stood in the dimly lit chapel of Bury Pomeroy Castle, their senses heightened as they absorbed the eerie atmosphere. The air was heavy with a foreboding presence, making Olivia's heart race with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Shafts of colored light filtered through the stained glass windows, casting an ethereal glow on the crumbling pews. Rachel moved closer to one of the windows, her fingers tracing the intricate patterns etched into the glass, a testament to the skill and artistry of a forgotten era. As Olivia and Ethan examined the decaying altar, a sense of unease settled upon them. Mourning shrouded, the carvings on the ancient wood depicted scenes of religious devotion, now marred by time and neglect. Yet, there was something more, a hidden symbolism that tugged at Rachel's curiosity. Her eyes narrowed with determination as she squinted at the carvings, deciphering their cryptic meaning. A sudden realization struck her: the symbols were not merely decorative, but held a deeper significance within Bury Pomeroy Castle's haunting history. Olivia glanced up from her examination of the altar, her gaze meeting Rachel's intense eyes. Without a word, they shared an unspoken understanding, a mutual desire to unveil the secrets hidden within these sacred walls. Ethan watched their silent exchange and nodded, his intuition confirming their unspoken plan. Together, they moved towards a hidden door obscured by layers of dusty tapestries, their hands trembling with anticipation as they pushed aside the heavy fabric. A musty smell assailed their senses as they entered a narrow passageway, its stone walls cold and damp. The flickering flame of their lantern cast eerie shadows along the corridor, revealing glimpses of ancient cobwebs and faded frescoes. As they ventured deeper into the labyrinthine dungeons, their footsteps echoed through the darkness. Olivia's heart raced with a mix of fear and excitement, her mind filled with haunting images of those who had suffered within these forsaken chambers. Suddenly, they came upon a series of hidden chambers, each filled with morbid relics that spoke volumes about Bury Pomeroy Castle's dark past. Rusty shackles hung from the damp walls, their presence a chilling reminder of the anguish that once permeated these forsaken depths. Ethan reached out to touch a shattered suit of armor, an empty vessel once filled with valor and protection. His fingertips traced over the dents and scratches, feeling a connection to its broken spirit. It reminded him of his own fragmented past, a reminder that redemption could be found even in the most shattered souls. Rachel's eyes scanned the room, drawn to a macabre display of preserved bones, a somber memorial to lives lost in this forgotten underworld. Her hand instinctively covered her mouth as she contemplated the tragic fate of those who had met their demise within these forsaken walls. As Olivia absorbed the scene before her, memories began to flood her mind, her grief mingling with empathy for those who had suffered in silence. She felt their anguish reverberating through time, an eternal plea for release from their torment. In this chamber of darkness and despair, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel confronted the depths of Bury Pomeroy Castle's haunted history, a reminder that behind every ghostly apparition was a story waiting to be heard. They were uncovering more than just physical artifacts. They were unraveling emotions and pain that transcended time itself. With each step they took, their resolve grew stronger, an unwavering commitment to bringing these forgotten souls into the light. Their journey into the forbidden dungeons of Bury Pomeroy Castle was far from over. It was just beginning, a treacherous path leading them closer to confronting the malevolent presence that lurked within these cursed depths. And so, armed with newfound knowledge and drenched in emotions unleashed by these macabre relics, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel pressed onward, guided by an indomitable spirit that refused to be shackled by fear or despair. The air grew heavy with anticipation as Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel navigated the dimly lit chambers of Bury Pomeroy Castle's forsaken dungeons. Their lanterns cast ethereal shadows on the damp walls, revealing glimpses of forgotten torment. Olivia's heart pounded in her chest as they entered a room filled with macabre relics, a haunting memorial to lives lost within these cursed depths. The flickering flame of their lantern danced eerily, its feeble light illuminating the grim reality before them. Rusty shackles clung to the walls like echoes of past suffering, their presence sending a chill down Olivia's spine. Ethan's eyes narrowed as he surveyed the chamber, the remnants of shattered hopes and shattered lives scattered across the floor. His hand trailed along an intricately carved dagger, its blade tarnished with age and neglect. It seemed to whisper tales of betrayal and violence, a reminder of the darkness that lurked within Barry Pomeroy Castle's haunted halls. Rachel's breath caught in her throat as she stood before a display of preserved bones, a solemn testament to the tragedies that had unfolded within these forsaken walls. The hallowed silence seemed to amplify the agony of those long gone, their spectral presence lingering like a mournful melody in the room. As they absorbed the scene before them, a shared understanding passed between Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel. Each relic held a story, a chapter in the haunting history of this cursed castle. They were not just observers, they were bearers of witnesses, tales destined to give voice to those who had suffered in silence. A sudden gust of wind rattled through the dungeon, extinguishing their lanterns and enveloping them in darkness. Shadows danced on the walls, distorting the physical boundaries between reality and the supernatural. In this moment, fear threatened to consume them, but their resolve burned brighter than ever. Olivia reached out a trembling hand, her fingers brushing against an ancient journal tucked away in a forgotten corner. Its pages yellowed with age, promising hidden truths waiting to be discovered. Her heart swelled with a mixture of trepidation and determination. It was time to confront the malevolent presence that dwelled within Barry Pomeroy Castle. Ethan gripped his own lantern tightly, his gaze piercing through the darkness as if trying to pierce through the veil that separated them from answers yet unclaimed. He sensed that their journey had led them to a crucial turning point, one that would demand their utmost courage and resilience. Rachel stepped forward cautiously, her steps guided by an insatiable thirst for knowledge and justice. Her fingers tingled with anticipation as she traced over ancient symbols etched into the walls, their meaning beckoning her closer to unveiling the cryptic puzzle that kept Barry Pomeroy Castle captive. With their lanterns reignited, casting shards of light into the abyss before them, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel exchanged determined glances. Their quest for truth had led them here to this pivotal moment where their paths intertwined with Barry Pomeroy Castle's darkest secrets. In this chamber of darkness and despair, they fortified themselves with unwavering resolve. With every step they took, they honored those who had suffered within these forsaken walls. They were bound by a shared mission to bring light to their stories and find redemption for themselves. Beyond this room lay a battle yet to be fought, one that would test their limits and challenge their beliefs, but united by purpose and an unshakable bond. Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel pressed onward, heroes in their own right, as they braved the malevolent presence lurking within Barry Pomeroy Castle's cursed dungeons. The flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the faces of Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel as they gathered in a dimly lit room within Barry Pomeroy Castle. The air was thick with anticipation, and unease, a tangible manifestation of the malevolent presence that lurked within the castle's walls. Olivia's brows furrowed in deep concentration as she surveyed the room, her eyes darting from one corner to another. Her determination to confront the darkness head-on was etched onto her face, lines of resolve mingling with creases of worrying. Beside her, Ethan leaned against a weathered bookshelf, his stoic expression betraying a mix of caution and quiet determination. His hazel eyes locked onto Olivia's, silent sparks of conflict brewing beneath their shared purpose. Each was convinced that their approach held the key to unearthing Barry Pomeroy Castle's secrets. Rachel, ever the mediator, positioned herself between Olivia and Ethan, her vibrant red hair serving as a visual reminder of her role as a peacemaker. Concern etched deep lines on her forehead as she contemplated the tension between her newfound friends. Her logical reasoning and empathetic nature were crucial in finding common ground and forging a path forward. "Look," Olivia spoke first, her voice laced with urgency. "We can't afford to tiptoe around this malevolence any longer. We have to confront it head-on together." Ethan crossed his arms over his chest, an outward display of his skepticism. and risk putting ourselves in unnecessary danger. We need a more strategic approach, one that takes into account both our safety and the preservation of our mission. The room fell silent, each member grappling with their own fears and doubts. The weight of their collective purpose hung heavily in the air, a delicate balance between boldness and caution. With a thoughtful nod, Rachel interjected, her voice calm yet resolute. Perhaps there is a middle ground, a way to proceed that acknowledges both Olivia's urgency and Ethan's concern for our well-being. Olivia and Ethan turned their attention towards Rachel, their expressions a combination of curiosity and hope. What if we devise a plan that allows us to confront the malevolence while minimizing risks? Rachel suggested, her eyes flitting between Olivia and Ethan. We can prioritize information gathering and preparation, or while ensuring we have an exit strategy if things become too dangerous. Olivia's face softened, her gaze shifting from defiance to contemplation. Ethan unfolded his arms, his stern expression softening at Rachel's proposal. That might just work, Olivia said finally, her voice filled with a mix of gratitude and compromise. Ethan nodded in agreement, a semblance of trust rekindling within his hazel eyes. We'll need to be resourceful, and adaptable flexibility will be key in navigating this dark labyrinth. As they reached a tentative consensus, unity gradually replaced discord. They understood that their individual strengths needed to converge for the greater good, to overcome the malevolent forces within Pomeroy Castle and protect each other along the way. With renewed focus and a shared plan taking shape before them, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel prepared themselves for what lay ahead. The confrontation with the malevolence loomed closer, a battle that would test their resilience, challenge their beliefs, and solidify their bond amidst the unfathomable darkness. The trio cautiously ventured deeper into the labyrinthine corridors, their lanterns casting flickering light in the oppressive darkness. Every step sent shivers down their spines as unseen whispers echoed through the halls. Olivia's heart hammered in her chest, her determination to confront the malevolence overpowering her fear. The weight of the castle's dark history pressed against her, but she refused to be swayed. She had come too far to turn back now. Ethan's hazel eyes scanned the shadows, his senses heightened for any sign of danger. Each creak of a floorboard and rustle of fabric set his nerves on edge. His analytical mind searched for patterns, for clues that could lead them closer to understanding the malevolent forces that taunted them. Rachel clung to her lantern tightly, its warm glow providing a small sanctuary amidst the encroaching darkness. Her vibrant red hair caught in cobwebs as she moved forward, brushing them aside with determination. Her curiosity burned brighter than ever, pushing her to uncover the enigmatic truths that lay hidden within Pomeroy Castle's walls. As they made their way through a particularly narrow corridor, an unsettling cold breeze brushed against their skin. They exchanged wary glances, their instincts telling them that danger was near. The air crackled with an oppressive energy, as if the castle itself was warning them to turn back. A ghostly figure materialized before them, its translucent form swaying gently in the ethereal glow of their lanterns. Olivia's breath caught in her throat as she recognized the sorrowful eyes from her previous encounters with spirits within the castle. Without words, they understood the malevolence had taken shape, manifesting from the darkest recesses of Pomeroy Castle. Visions of vengeful specters and forgotten tragedy danced in their minds, fueling their resolve to confront this malevolent presence head-on. With hearts pounding, they stood their ground as the apparition advanced towards them. Whispered pleas filled the corridor, laced with pain and longing for release. It reached out with ethereal hands, its touch sending icy shivers down their spines. Olivia closed her eyes briefly, centering herself amidst the chaos. She drew upon her inner strength and empathy, the very qualities that had led her to this moment, to connect with the spirit before her. She reached out a trembling hand, mirroring its ethereal form. Ethan watched intently, his analytical mind assessing every nuance of the encounter. He recognized that this malevolent presence drew power from emotions, pain, anger, sorrow, and sought to manipulate their vulnerabilities. He steeled himself against its attempts to provoke fear or doubt. Rachel's compassionate nature emerged fully as she stepped forward, forming a protective barrier with her lantern's warm glow. Her unwavering empathy offered solace in the face of darkness, her very presence reminding them all that they were not alone in this battle. Together, they stood a united front against the malevolence that threatened to consume them. They channeled their collective strength and courage to push back against the haunting force that had haunted Bury Pomeroy Castle for centuries. In this pivotal moment of confrontation and resilience, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel vowed to reclaim this castle from the shadows that had held it captive for far too long, not just for themselves, but for all who had suffered at its hands. The trio sprinted through the narrow corridor, their hearts pounding in unison. The malevolent presence pursued them relentlessly, its chilling whispers echoing behind them as they navigated the treacherous obstacles that Bury Pomeroy Castle had laid before them. Olivia's legs screamed in protest as she pushed herself forward, her determination to survive overpowering the fatigue that threatened to consume her. Her piercing green eyes scanned their surroundings, searching for any possible escape route. In her mind, she replayed the previous encounters with spirits, each a test of her strength and resilience. Ethan's analytical mind kicked into overdrive as he assessed their options. He spotted a hidden doorway partially concealed by a tattered tapestry, barely visible amidst the dim lighting. With an urgency fueled by adrenaline, he veered towards it, his instincts guiding his every move. Rachel's vibrant red hair whipped around her face as she followed Ethan's lead. Her blue eyes sparkled with a mix of fear and determination, a reflection of the relentless pursuit behind her. She summoned every ounce of bravery within her, her belief in their shared mission propelling her forward. As they reached the hidden doorway, Olivia fumbled for a key hidden beneath layers of dust. With shaking hands, she inserted it into the lock, praying that it would open the passage to their salvation. The metal groaned in protest, but finally yielded, granting them access to a narrow stairwell that wound upwards into darkness. Without hesitation, they ascended the stairs, their footsteps echoing through the silence, a stark contrast to the haunting whispers that lingered at their backs. Each step became a declaration of defiance and affirmation that they would not succumb to the malevolent presence hunting them. As they climbed higher, a faint glimmer of light appeared before them, a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. Olivia's heart surged with renewed resolve, the knowledge that they were drawing closer to safety fueling her determination. The scent of fresh air wafted towards them as they emerged onto a rooftop bathed in moonlight. The cool breeze kissed their faces, offering respite from the suffocating atmosphere within the castle's walls. It was as if Bury Pomeroy Castle itself sighed in defeat, a temporary retreat until their paths crossed again. As they caught their breath and surveyed their surroundings, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel shared a sense of accomplishment. They had faced the malevolence head-on, outwitting its sinister pursuit and emerging stronger because of it. In this moment of victory, their bond solidified, an unbreakable union forged through shared danger and hard-won triumph. With hearts still racing and souls ablaze with determination, they made a silent vow promise to continue their quest towards uncovering Bury Pomeroy Castle's haunting secrets. The malevolent presence may have been temporarily thwarted, but its dark influence permeated every nook and cranny, its secrets waiting patiently to be revealed. In this bittersweet moment of respite, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel embraced the weight of their purpose as seekers of truth and redemption within a realm where shadows thrived. Their journey was far from over, but armed with newfound strength and an unshakable resolve, they pressed onward, knowing that Bury Pomeroy Castle held more challenges and revelations yet to come. Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel stood in the grand chamber of Bury Pomeroy Castle, their eyes fixed on a towering pedestal that held the weathered tome, an ancient book whose pages held the key to unlocking the castle's haunting secrets. The air crackled with an oppressive energy, as if the malevolence lurking within the castle had gathered to witness this final battle. Olivia's fingers trembled as she reached out to touch the tome, her resolve burning brightly within her. She had fought tooth and nail to uncover the truth buried within these pages, and now it was time to face the secrets head-on. Her piercing green eyes flickered with a mix of determination and vulnerability, a reflection of the weight she carried. Ethan's stoic expression softened as he watched Olivia's unwavering conviction. His hazel eyes glowed with admiration for Olivia's resilience and for the shared purpose that had bound them together. He knew that their quest for redemption went far beyond what lay within those pages. It was a battle for their own souls. Rachel's vibrant red hair framed her face like a fiery halo, a reminder of her unyielding spirit. As she locked eyes with Olivia and Ethan, her blue eyes sparkled with hope and determination. She believed in the power of knowledge and understanding, of unearthing the truth even when faced with darkness. With trembling hands, Olivia opened the tome, its pages crackling as they unfurled like ancient scrolls, revealing long-forgotten tales. Each word seemed to breathe with life, carrying the weight of centuries past. As they read the cryptic passages, a mosaic of revelations emerged, a tapestry of forbidden love, treachery, and revenge that had unfolded within Berry Pomeroy Castle's walls. Olivia's heart broke for those who had suffered, their stories etched into her memory. Ethan's analytical mind absorbed every detail, connecting dots and piecing together threads that wove a complex narrative. His brows furrowed in concentration as he sought to unravel the web of deceit and tragedy, his sharp intellect threading through each page. Rachel's gaze darted across the text, picking up on hidden symbols and encoded messages. Her fingers traced over arcane illustrations, deciphering their meanings and offering glimpses into forgotten worlds. Her thirst for knowledge burned brighter than ever. In this chamber of revelation and reckoning, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel felt a sense of liberation, a breaking free from the chains that bound them and the malevolence that had haunted Berry Pomeroy Castle for far too long. They understood that true redemption don't just in uncovering the past, but also in embracing forgiveness for themselves and for others. With each word they read, their connection deepened. They became intertwined with the spirits whose stories they unraveled. In forgiving those who had wronged them and themselves, they offered solace not only to the tortured souls within these pages, but also to their own wounded hearts. As Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel dived deeper into the tome's secrets, an ethereal glow enveloped them, a testament to the power of knowledge and understanding. The words seemed to leap off the pages, forming images and symbols that resonated with their very souls. Olivia's heart swelled with a mixture of grief and empathy as she read tales of tragic love and shattered illusions. She felt the weight of their sorrow, their longing for redemption, and it fueled her determination to uncover the truth buried within Berry Pomeroy Castle's haunted history. Ethan's analytical mind worked feverishly, connecting dots and piecing together fragments of information. He recognized patterns, subtle threads that wove a tapestry of betrayal and loss. His hazel eyes narrowed, his intuition guiding him closer to understanding the malevolent forces that had plagued the castle for centuries. Rachel's hands trembled as she deciphered encrypted messages and ancient symbols scattered throughout the tome. Each puzzle solved brought her closer to unlocking the castle's darkest secrets, and with each revelation, her hunger for knowledge grew stronger. She felt a responsibility to shed light on the forgotten stories, giving voice to those whose tales had been silenced by time. In this chamber of revelation and enlightenment, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel forged an unbreakable bond, a shared purpose that bound them together in their pursuit of truth and redemption. They became conduits for the spirits trapped within Berry Pomeroy Castle, bearers of their stories and advocates for their release. As they read page after page, their minds intertwined with the emotions of those who had suffered, their hearts aching with compassion. They navigated through forbidden romances and blood-soaked betrayals, each revelation a painful reminder of the consequences that echo through generations. In this dance of discovery, they unearthed not only the secrets woven within Berry Pomeroy Castle's tapestry, but also their own inner truths. They confronted their past demons, forgiving themselves for past mistakes and embracing the journey towards healing. With each turn of a page, they came closer to understanding the malevolence that had gripped Berry Pomeroy Castle for centuries, an entity fueled by pain, revenge, and forgotten desires. They knew that their final confrontation loomed, demanding courage and sacrifice, the ultimate test of their resolve. As they closed the tome, its ancient pages whispering farewell, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel felt a sense of empowerment, a flicker of hope amidst the darkness. They carried with them not just knowledge, but also an unwavering belief in the power of love, forgiveness, and resilience. In this moment of revelation, they stood united warriors against the shadows, a force capable of bringing light to even the darkest corners. Their quest was far from over, but armed with newfound understanding and an unbreakable bond, they were ready to face whatever lay ahead, to confront the malevolence head-on and bring peace to those trapped within Berry Pomeroy Castle's haunted domain. Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel stood at the precipice of Berry Pomeroy Castle's grand chamber, their hearts resolute and their spirits aflame with determination. The malevolence loomed before them, a swirling maelstrom of darkness, seeking to consume their every ounce of hope. With every step they took, a quiet confidence settled upon their shoulders, a deep understanding that they were not alone in this final battle. They drew strength from one another, an unbreakable bond that had forged throughout their journey, and it fortified their resolve. As the malevolence surged forward, Olivia's piercing green eyes blazed with an unwavering fire. She refused to let fear paralyze her, to succumb to the weight of the castle's haunted past. She summoned every ounce of courage within her, fighting back against the malevolence with empathy and forgiveness in her heart. Beside her, Ethan's hazel eyes burned with a fierce determination, the culmination of his analytical mind and steadfast spirit. He recognized that true redemption lay in overcoming the darkness that had plagued Berry Pomeroy Castle and confronting their own inner demons head-on. With each calculated move, he channeled his intuitive prowess to outmaneuver the malevolence. Rachel's vibrant red hair seemed to ignite with the intensity of her passion, a beacon of resilience shining through the encroaching darkness. She drew upon ancient wisdom hidden deep within the recesses of her mind, casting protective spells and tapping into the power of forgotten symbols. Her voice rang out a symphony of strength and hope as she banished the malevolence with incantations of liberation and forgiveness. In this climactic dance between light and dark, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel fought side by side, a fearless trio embodying the power of unity and compassion. Their weapons were not physical, but spiritual: forgiveness, empathy, and relentless resilience against the forces that sought to tear them apart. As the battle raged on, an undeniable truth emerged: the malevolence was weakening beneath the weight of their unrelenting purpose. Each strike against its suffocating grip shrouded the chamber in a luminescent glow, a testament to the transformative power of redemption. Olivia's voice rose above the chaos, a resounding declaration of triumph over despair. She called upon the tormented spirits trapped within Berry Pomeroy Castle to find solace in their shared redemption and to relinquish their hold over this sacred space. In response, ethereal figures emerged from the shadows, ghostly forms transitioning from anguish to serenity. They moved with grace and released plaintive cries that echoed through time, a cathartic release from their eternal suffering. The malevolence recoiled, an entity stripped of its power by the force of love and forgiveness. It retreated into the depths from whence it came, an echo fading into oblivion as peace filled Berry Pomeroy Castle's grand chamber once more. Exhausted but triumphant, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel stood amidst the remnants of their battle, the dust settling around them as if in reverence for their victory. In this pivotal moment of redemption and reckoning, they understood that healing was a continuous journey, a commitment to embracing light, even in the face of darkness. With a shared sense of purpose and a renewed faith in humanity's capacity for resilience, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel emerged from Berry Pomeroy Castle forever changed by their encounter with its haunting secrets. They carried within them fragments of its history, remembering not just its tragedies, but also its potential for profound transformation. As they ventured into a world touched by both light and shadow, they vowed to share their experiences, to pass on the lessons learned from Berry Pomeroy Castle's whispers, to ensure that no soul would be consumed by the weight of regret or anger ever again. And so, united in purpose and forever connected by their shared journey, Olivia, Ethan, and Rachel stepped into the unknown, a future brimming with endless possibilities, a testament to the indomitable spirit within us all. Thank you so much for joining me on this cinematic journey. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Have you experienced a spine-chilling horror that left you trembling? Share your terrifying tale with us by emailing nightmarenetwork@hotmail.com, and we'd be thrilled to feature it on our platform. Until next time, happy movie watching.